Okay, thank you for the introduction. My name is Priyanka, and I work with the field of communication, and over time, and of course with the experience of last year, communication for some reason has shifted online. So communication, when it got shifted online, we have now started calling it web presence. So the Google definition of web presence is, of course, as many as you find the number of pages that are there on Google. But let's try and understand what this medium of interaction can do for us, which is why we are calling this web presence. And what does web presence have to do with skills? Let's understand the word skill also. Skill is anything that is done by hand. And then we will take it further and understand that word better as we get along this conversation. So, for starters, we will start with the topic here, and that is web presence. And we would like to see what we can do to use the internet to showcase the skills really that we all might have. This is stepping away from the original topic, and frankly, this is a very important piece that we must first of all acknowledge for ourselves. And the fact that it is important to first get it right in your head before you can start getting it right anywhere else. So, it is important to understand your own thoughts, feelings, and how you think about the world. And if you are not thinking on those lines, then it is important to open those conversations with yourself first. And frankly, the best part I felt about being able to open these conversations with ourselves is that there's nobody judging you. मतलब किसी से शर्म नहीं है, किसी से कुछ छुपाना नहीं है, because these are things which are there in our head. For most of us, this is already true, but the fact still remains that it is a conscious exercise that we need to do for ourselves to recognize that there is a conversation that is already there in our head, and that has to be acknowledged by us in person, which is why before you start on anything, it is extremely important to organize thought. So what do I mean by organized thought, and why is it important? Just look at the pictures here. Most people might see ये क्या है और यहाँ पे इतनी सारी pictures ऐसे क्यों हैं? But frankly, if you look at the top row, it is a bunch of pictures which is, in my opinion, showing a lot of chaos. कोई भी कुछ भी कहीं भी कैसे भी कुछ भी चल रहा है. So if you look at the street, if you look at the wires running across the pole, or if you look at a room which has practically everything everywhere, and look at only the top row here, you will probably take away a feeling that something is out of place, something is miss, and something is not in order. Look at the second picture, and I've very consciously chosen pictures from our geographical region, and it is not about, I could have chosen pictures which were from foreign countries, which was my conscious choice not to. So in our own geographical region, we can see that there is a lot of method in the madness. And when that method is followed by everybody, it is simpler and it is more convenient and more calming for all of us together. So अगर सड़क पे गाड़ी चलेगी और सड़क की साइड में लोग चलेंगे, तो गाड़ी वाले को भी आसान है और चलने वाले को भी आसान है. If the wires are not entangled with each other, when things go wrong, you know where to start fixing things. And if your room is clean, believe you me, when you come back home at night after a long tiring day, it will be a better place to be. There is enough that gets floated around the internet regarding organized, but one of the best discourse that I have seen is by a naval admiral who goes ahead, and he's a foreigner, he's an American guy, I think. And he goes ahead to say that if you want to do anything good with yourself, start with making your bed. So when you wake up in the morning, it is important that you start attending to the environment that you live in, instead of the other way around, and instead of letting the environment drive you. So look at the pictures, take a few seconds, take a few moments to yourself, and understand why these pictures are important. And to me, the difference between the top row and the bottom row is just that in the bottom row, there is a little method to the madness. There is more organized format to what is being done. I work with visualization, and please skip yourself the excitement or the intent to look at numbers and say, oh, Excel sheets and numbers, some people like them, some people hate them, some people would look at numbers, look at them closely and start making conclusions. Please understand these are not numbers, and these are not numbers that make conclusions. So what are they? If this is my way of understanding my world. I work with visualization and user experience. And if you look at the first Excel sheet, really, it's just a lot of names and numbers. Frankly, if you know nothing about this Excel sheet, chances of you making a conclusion is that much poorer. And that is fact. It is not possible for us to make conclusions without a prior reference. Now, even if I was to go to the second sheet, which is also a way of visualization, I think it's a more intelligent way of visualizing things because there are some blue lines, and if nothing, I would at least follow the light blue line or the white line to not get my first column and the fourth column ka reading incorrect. So if I have lines which distinguish my work from one line to the next, it's a more organized, it's a more neat and clean looking, although it has more color, it has a more neat and clean looking look and feel. And the third graph does something even better, is to get rid of all the names and numbers and gives me a chart. As I look at the chart, I know there is something going on. My reason for looking at something and trying to have a takeaway from it becomes that much more simpler. Which is why we come back to the point of organizing thought, and that organizing thought in your head is definitely the first thing that you need to do for yourself before you start off on a journey. We'll come back to the point of organizing thought when we come and actually start discussing web presence and the skill showcase piece of it. The second piece I want to say is organized thought. If there are people who are willing to choose and write in that comment box, please make comments about why did I put a checkered box on the left and why do I want to write the time clock on the right. But the way it is to be understood is that it's extremely important to allocate time. Please understand that there are some things in the world which are finite, like geography and time. So while you have, and God bless all of us with good health and great years and number of years ahead, the number of hours in a day is only 24. And in that, it is required that you give away 6 hours of sleep to your health. So if you have a mobile phone or an internet connection, you actually are one of those fortunate people in India who have the luxury to be able to reach out to a large part of this world. Coming back to time and time management, in my mind, the one thing that has worked extremely well for me is that despite my family commitments or indefinite amount of other commitments, really, the one thing that has definitely worked for me is the fact that at a particular point of time, I have, before I wake up or before I start my day, I would spend those 5 minutes trying to organize my thoughts regarding how is my day going to be planned, who do I have to meet, who do I have to call, what are my priorities for today. And this is not just work related, it is also related to home and family and children and social life and my own health and my own interests. So before I start my day, I organize my day. There are many theories around how much you can do, but what has worked for me is that I try and divide my day into blocks of about 2 to 2.5 hours. And sometimes it alternates between 2.5 hours or 4 hours. So if I have a large amount of professional commitment, I have a sense of how much time it will take, and I would allocate that to a certain part of the day. And before I start my day, I have a mental picture of what all is important for today, which not only includes work, it also includes things that are outside work. And you make those capsules for that day. And in most cases, you would be largely right. Now, I'm quite sure a lot of us already do that, and a lot of us do that subconsciously also. So maybe today is a good day to try and figure out that this is how we are functioning, that we are actually allocating our time in a day, and for anybody who has a question for you where he says that how do you prioritize, I think the answer that I give to myself is that it's not work that is prioritized, it is the moment that is prioritized, which means that at a particular time, if it is required that you attend a deadline, then that is the priority at that time. It also answers the question to a lot of women who are continuously questioned about work versus family. And if you're away from family, then you quote unquote, like, you're questioned on that account. And if it's not somebody outside, maybe to your own self. So the way I have managed my time is that I divide my day into blocks of certain number of hours and I stick to that format. Of course, nobody is bang on target, but that's fine. Now let's come to the other piece that I also like to talk about, and is the magic number 3. I think why I want us to talk about the rule of 3, and this is something that I have practiced myself. And for me, 3 is everything that has to be done needs to have at least 3 facets to it. For fun, it encourages us to think about the same piece of information from different angles. Please look up a World Economic Forum report, and it talks about the multiple soft skills or soft facets that affect professional life, and how soft skill and certain soft skills will be more useful to us as we go forward. But that said, if I have to give a perspective to something, it is my duty to be able to give more than what meets the eye. I think that's where my profession gets best defined. So why 3? I think 3 is because there is black, there's white, and there's something in the middle, gray. So either it's right or wrong. But because we just probably discussed this, that not everything is right and wrong, there is a gray space. So you realize what we are doing: white, which is 1, black, which is 2, and the middle space between, that's 3. Look at the words past, present, and future. When we were small, we were taught tense, and हमें हिंदी में कहा जाएगा काल. तो भूतकाल, वर्तमान काल और भविष्य काल. हम काल की बात नहीं करें, पर हम ये जरूर देख रहे हैं कि हम 3 अलग अलग चीजों की बात कर रहे हैं. Look up something called Fibonacci sequence. These are 1, 1, 2, 3, and so on, mostly prime numbers for starters. I don't want to get into a conversation about Fibonacci sequence either, but 3 again figures out there as a number. Look at Igakai, it's a Japanese concept regarding skill and how we monetize skill. But that again talks about 3 circles that affect our work. So for me, for some reason, 3 is a good number. More is better, but 3 is a good number. And let's keep that as a benchmark for ourselves and say that if you have a situation, we will come up with maybe 3 different perspectives of looking for it. I quickly want to cover 3 colors, and that is there because in most conversations that you talk about color, you will have people saying that any page or any display which has more than 3 colors is disturbing. So I'm not talking about which colors and will, like light orange and light yellow, get mixed up. So I'll not go to that part of it. But the fact still remains that 3 ends up being the number of choice, even when you're discussing color. So it's important that if you are able to come up with more than 1 perspective, try to come up with 3. There is no rule. This is something that I practice, but this is my minimum. So what are we talking about today? And we're really talking about my learning by observation story. And we're talking about the how, what, and why. Check out that there is 3 again. You are welcome. So if somebody has a additional phone, there is a QR code on the screen. You can use that QR code to visit the web page that I'm talking about. But essentially, it is my story about how I decided to showcase, or how I decided to focus on the skill that I have. And how did I come to the stage where I have been able to reach? I write, and in fact, this is not, when you go to this webpage, I still feel it's still under construction. But for those who wish to contribute, you're welcome to write here. You're welcome to reach out to us. We are willing to consider people and stories which actually inspire others. And I will come to this page also when we talk about integration. So what is web presence and what do we do about it? What is the common connect between web presence and the point which we are trying to discuss today is skill showcase. So let's go back to the rule of three, and let's say that I wanted to discuss various aspects of web presence, but frankly, web presence to me is then again divided into three subparts. And the first part, which is also the largest, and frankly, is in some sense the anchor of the entire story, is you and the skill you have. Let's talk about what is your skill. And frankly, I'm not the right person to answer that question. What is your skill is something which only you would know. And let's not restrict ourselves to the professional space. So let the skill piece be transcending between professional and personal spaces. So there is a definite space, there is a definite skill. Let me put it differently. The farmer does farming. तो खेती बाड़ी फार्मर्स का स्किल है. ट्रेडर का स्किल एक आदमी से सामान इकट्ठा करके जिसको चाहिए उसको बांटने के लिए वो उसका स्किल है. सो ट्रेडिंग और बीइंग एबल टू ट्रेड इज अ स्किल. कुम्हार या पॉटर्स मट्टी के या अदर मटेरियल्स के बर्तन और अदर ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंड आर्टिफैक्ट्स बनाते हैं. वो हाथ से जो मट्टी से काम करते हैं वो उनका स्किल है. As we are moving away from the rural economy and as we are moving away from the original subsistence format of living, let's not forget that we are all humans and we have our 24 hours of day to fill, and that the skill that we all carry is something that we have learned from books. So what is your skill is a question that is extremely important for us to start answering to ourselves first. The second piece about the conversation on web presence would be display. That अगर आपके पास कोई skill है, now mind you, the skill piece, I must say one more time, is not just professional, it can be personal, it can be both. You are one of those fortunate people who are being paid for doing work that you also think is your personal interest. But that apart, the important piece that I'm trying to say is that all of us would have some interest and there is some skill that we as human beings have. Let me take another minute and go back to the animal kingdom, which is not the human kind. And the skill for a lion would be to be able to hunt. So what is your skill as a human is a question that is important that we answer. We are not getting into the monetization part of it yet. The second piece that is important when it comes to web presence is a display of the skill that you have. And the third piece which I feel is a little gray area right now, but I will try my best to explain what I mean by integrate and why integrate becomes the most important piece of the portion that we are talking about, which is web presence. So each of these are independent, but they are still interlinked. And again, as we discuss these 3 points, we will talk about the how, what, and why of each of these. So let's use what I'm referring to as a mind map and understand the 3 pieces better. Okay. So this is where we are. We're calling ourselves as web presence, and we're calling ourselves, and the 3 portions or the 3 segments of web presence would be skill, the display of that skill, and how do we integrate that. I'll collapse this for now. And we will start with the portion of skill. Now, skill can be your professional experience. So for those who are interested, please reach out to the organizers of this webinar. and we would be happy to share this as a PDF document with you. But for now, I will go ahead and speak about what I mean when I say skill, and I will quickly start drafting it out. It will be a good way to have a summary of this presentation as well. So let's say skill, and how do you discover it? So the how of your skill would come from personal experiences, it would come from people who you speak with. So let's call it research. And it would come from, if you want to look up the theoretical, one of the most popular concepts these days is Ikigai. So why am I writing all this? Please reflect on these words when you are asking yourself the question, what is my skill? So where else can you help yourself and discover the skill? You can do a survey, and that survey can be online or offline. So if anybody is a marketing or an MBA in this circuit, you would know the importance of surveys, and you would know the importance of doing that survey before you really go to the market. In my management experience, I sometimes laugh because, frankly, in as many years of experience, I really haven't seen too many people go back to the market and do any research really. But that said, it nevertheless is still important. So that is important for us. What else is possible? So the answer to how you find your skill is that you can either use a model like Ikigai, and there are many others. You can of course reflect on your own self. You can research or read on the internet, or you can ask people around you. And that's as simple as that. Now, the what of what your skill is of course going to get answered by, okay, this is not how we want to have it presented. The what of, we can call it a subtopic, and is now the what is going to be answered by what the previous steps, and that is really the answers that you get, which can be either a reflection within or a reflection from how the world sees you as a person or a professional. And now let's come to the why you need to know, because frankly there are 24 hours in a day like we discussed, and it is something that you need to fill. Either you fill it sitting around idle, God bless everybody with the financial strength to be able to do that. If that may not be the case, it is important that you invest your 24 hours intelligently. If you're doing a work that you're interested in the urban space at least, it is something. So let's put that down. Let's talk about invest your time and in a day. The next portion for that would be, if you're interested in the urban scenario, really, if you're interested in something and you find that worth your time, then it's a good way. So you have a higher degree of confidence and a higher degree of interest in the work that you do. Let's be honest, not everybody is able to do the work and they love the work that they do. So interest, it will be equal to confidence. And the one thing that I find very interesting when you're trying to answer the why I need to know my skill is to ask the question why at least 3 times or 5 times. So ask yourself why is something of interest to you. In the interest of time, I will not run the exercise, but I would just call it why at the rate 3 or 5. So if there is something that is interesting for you, it would be a good idea to ask yourself why. So let me quickly take an example to help take this point home. Ask yourself, if you're looking at a painting, ask yourself why are you liking it? So suppose it has trees and it has bright sunlight. You would be able to answer that question for yourself. For me, most probably it would be sunlight. So why am I liking looking at the sunlight? My second question would be, and the answer to my second question would be, maybe I enjoy bright spaces. So why do I enjoy bright spaces? So my answer to the third question could be that maybe it is a happy feeling, or maybe I have something in my past which tells me that this is good, this is where things should be, or this is something which reflects positivity, or this is something that is required for plants to grow. So I like sunlight for that. Then we can keep asking ourselves why. But the good way to look at it, if you ask yourself why three, or at least three and up to five times, you are likely to have answers which are clear to yourself. So we've discussed a lot about skill. We will remove this for now and go on to display. So what is web presence? In most cases, as on today, I want us to recognize that display is something that we have been doing from time immemorial. Only that because we have internet and we have Facebook and the social media, it has now become probably the only understanding, or one of the most skewed understandings of internet, that internet is about Google, YouTube, and Facebook and surfing on the internet. Of course it is about that, but it is also about being able to research, and it is most certainly about how you can display what you have. So it is important for you to open that conversation with yourselves and ask as to, are we not doing this already? And internet now becomes one more medium for us to be able to display what we have. Now I'll come to web presence and how this is most relevant, but I will quickly finish this, and this would be a no-brainer, no surprise conversation. So online would include paid and unpaid, of course, but online would include all your social media. I will quickly list that down. It will include Facebook, it would include LinkedIn, it would include Twitter, it would include the entire no surprise list of online and social media. So it would include websites, if you have a personal one, otherwise blog pages. It would include your personal blogs. And frankly, this list is going to get endless as we become more and more tech savvy. But in the interest of keeping things comprehensive, let's still list this down. You also have some micro initiatives or micro networking sites. So let's call it micro networking, like Meetup, or if you are part of a Mighty group, then those are options. Or of course you have groups, and you have the monster called Telegram and WhatsApp. So we're just going to call it groups for now. And I will keep this at that for now. So, and on each of these, what is it that you're really doing? You are doing not much, except you are, no, is it? And what is it that you're really doing? You are not doing much, except that you are writing out posts and effectively interacting with people. So no surprises there, but we will come back to it but you'll understand this better when I link all of it together. To answer the why part of it, the simple answer would be that why are you on web is to say that if you are anyway doing it offline, you might as well be visible with the same material online as well. So I don't want this here, and I want to delete it. Great. Let's talk about the point that I want to make with display is that with the advent of internet, it has become that much more simpler to showcase your skill. And we'll come to the monetization part after this. Let's come to integrate. And I want to take this as an example, but I'll still first finish this mind map as I had planned it, and then we'll come to integrate. Essentially, integrate would include automation, which means automated responses, or CRM, essentially meaning customer relation. Now, why am I talking about it like this? Let me still finish this piece before I go on to explaining to you why automation has now become important. More importantly, how automation is one of the simplest things that you would probably learn to do for yourself. So, you have automation. Understand integration as the operations department. So if you are an individual who has a skill, then integrate that skill and being able to dedicate time for things which are not improving that skill will become the operations part of your work. And if essentially, if you were to equate product and marketing and businesses, then this is the operations department. And this, to me, frankly, is an extremely important function, but it does not add value to the core idea on a daily basis. So, which is probably why it's a gray area of how people understand. Different people have different opinions, but over time, let's be humble and let's respect everybody for the work that they do. Coming back to what about integration that we need to learn. Essentially, we said it is something which is repetitive. So, I now want to go back to the part where I want to showcase for all of us the why integration is important. So I hope I've been able to establish two things here. The first thing that we've been able to establish, that it is important to be able to find your interest. Second, it is important to understand that it is for us to display the interest that we have. And now I'll try and explain as to why it is important to have certain amount of automation for all of us to be able to display what we can showcase to the world. So coming to, I will minimize this and this and this. And I want to go to a new window. Go to something called Facebook. And on the left side, there is the ads section. And why I want to talk about this will come up really fast. Okay. So why I'm using the Facebook here is to tell you that for a particular, if I just say create, section of interest, you can either take your skill set to the people you know in your immediate friend circle. You can request somebody to take it further, or you can use the internet in which you are not really using. Now this comes under paid sections, and I'm not a Facebook expert, but this is something that I found very interesting and it's very beautifully when you try to say that, okay, this is my skill and I want to showcase it. So let's look at how many people might be interested in what you are doing. So let's take, I'm just clicking here on random. Let's call this experiment. And I am not going to make any selections here because I want to showcase that for a particular set of interests, what if you can look at the right hand side panel here, how many people are you able to reach? This is 17,000 people is who you can reach out to. And this is the paid version, but there would be unpaid versions where you have a Facebook account and you have your friends and you have friends, and that would be a smaller number than this. But frankly, to reach an audience which is outside your social circle, it is important to be able to leverage internet. Now we took Facebook for an example so that I could show this number to you. It comes out really well here. But frankly, the intent of sharing this with you is to say is the number of people you can reach out to on the internet. And my way of bringing this up here was to kind of explain to you that you're not restricted by your own social circle. The other reason why we wanted to bring this up here is that should you be reaching out to so many people at a particular point of time, is it possible for you individually to handle that many queries? So if you suddenly have about even 20 people writing back to you regularly, it can be very exhausting for you to be able to interact with as many people, which is why integration becomes important. And I'm using a more conventional word in the name of integration, but the correct word to use on the virtual medium is optimization. So I want to show you what I mean when it, now this is going to get slightly complicated or maybe not so direct and obvious, but we will take our chances. I'm going to bring up my own web page, and I'm going to bring up the web page where I invite stories of people who have an interesting story to tell. We review work. We have not started publishing work, but we do intend to invite people. So there is a Google form for those who are interested. The QR code that you find in the presentation is also for the same page here. But this is what I wanted us to show. When you land on this page, you have a link. So if you're not interested in really, understanding it very well, you see a link and you understand it's a Google form link. तो चलो click करके देखते हैं क्या होता है. So you can either click that. But should you be like a little more attentive and you scroll down to the page, I'm trying to explain to you that there is a conflict and there are two call to actions on this page. And which is why if you have these many people coming back to this particular page, and at this particular page you have two things for people to do, and you are talking to people who are not very keen on listening to what you have to say, this is a good example of conflict. And this is a good example of how this page is extremely poorly optimized. And this is my own page, and I had left it like this so that I could use it as an example. Because on this particular page, you have a form also, then there's some English written here, and then there is some more English written here. And should you be one of those kind souls who actually make a submission, if you make it on the form, it will reach the right places. But if you make it underneath, it will not reach the correct section in our understanding and our operations, so to say. So the sensible thing to do would be to not have the second section here, and which is what I wanted us to share, that when you talk about web presence, the English word says social media, and that's how we all understand. But there is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. I'm taking you behind the scenes of learning by observation. And the internet is taking its own time, probably because we are live. Okay. So I want to go back to this section which helps me manage my backend, and I should go to the same page where I was showing you the stories that we collect, and your LBO story is the name of that page. And I need to change something so simple here and update it so that next time I have invited people to come and write their story, they are not this lost. So because I made that change, now you can see that the sub part of that section is not there. To those who found this slightly off the track, I understand. You are welcome to write back to the organizers or to me at learningbyobservation.com, and I would be able to answer questions that you might have. But to go back to the summary and to try and address the question of what does it mean by web presence. Web presence now, which is why we say, means three things in essential. It refers to having the skill. It refers to your answers that you bring up for yourself as to what is it that I like to do. It could be professional, it could be personal, and ideally it could be a bit of both. It is something that can be done, and if you enjoy doing a particular thing more, my suggestion would be to find time for it and see. And if money is not a problem, then you don't have any pressure to monetize your skill. But if money is a problem, then find ways to monetize your skill. The second piece we want to talk about is display, and how display on the internet now is so easy that you can reach hundreds and thousands of people without paying. So the section that we looked at from on Facebook ads was the paid version, but frankly you don't really need a paid version. You can definitely be spending and investing your time and effort reaching out to people who you think have similar interests, and use the internet and social media to drive traffic to a particular place where you display yourself. And the third piece would be to integrate. You would integrate the responses that you get from people, and this integration should ideally be having some level of automation. This integration forms a part of the operations part, it forms the part of the customer relationship management in companies. But if you are the individual and you are a company and you are the product, then integration using things like Google Forms, using things like automated responses, using things like auto responses on things like WhatsApp and LinkedIn messengers, and of course you can integrate certain plugins on your own website or your own blog, comment sections on your blogs. And depending on the kind of volume that your work is generating or your side work is generating, it is important to be able to pay attention to how you will respond to people who are reaching out to you. As you open yourself up to the world, it is very important that you also be able to respond to some noble soul who has reached out to you with good intent. So it is not just the fact that you're there on social media to be able to say what you want to say. You really need to be able to focus on what you would like it to be. And you also need to have a backend that helps you, which is a little bit like your office assistant, which helps you try to answer and reach out or respond to people appropriately on the internet. So that's probably what we wanted to talk about. I work with learning by observation. It's my own creation. The QR code on your right hand side, if you have an extra phone, you can use that to reach the page where you can share a story. If we like your stories, we would consider reaching back to you and consider publishing it. And go ahead, write your own story of growth. And you can write to us or Abha Foundation at to me you write at learningbyobservation@gmail.com, and of course you can write back to the Abha Foundation as well. That is all that I had for us today, and I hope it was something that was interesting, and I hope I was able to convey a point where each one of us is now able and hopefully feels more empowered to be able to focus on what we would like to invest our 24 hours with. Thank you for your time. I will close the presentation now.